Yeah, sorry about that. I'm limited to 15 minutes right now thanks to YouTube because I got a copyright strike. Go figure. But anyway, we went, like I say, we went to Denny's afterwards for a little late night dessert and snack, if you will, brunch. And we ended up bumping into my cousin and her husband, her newlywed husband, because they had just gotten back from Hawaii. They went to Hawaii, survived the tsunami that was there. Actually, they were in a hotel room where they were like on the 7th floor, so they weren't really affected. But yeah, we bumped into them. My aunt gave her keys because they were house keys because they were house sitting for them. They would check the house and everything. But yeah, we bumped into them and we talked with them, said what they were doing, and then they left, went home to obviously relax and catch up on a lot of hours because they lost 3 hours in between, if you know what I mean. And so yeah, we had dessert. I ordered myself a banana split. They ran out of bananas, so I had to build my own sundae instead. So I got to build your own sundae, and that was good, really good. And then after that, we got back. We left and we went back to their house. We got our stuff. We said goodbye and said goodnight and goodbye and came back home. And we came back home just around just a few minutes before 2 o'clock. Yeah. Basically what happens is the Sun Kings tribute concert lasted from 8 o'clock to 10:45, even with the 10-minute intermissions. But it was a fun concert. It was really good. The only problem that I had, though, at the concert, and this is what I don't get, because they didn't say anything at the beginning, and I don't think the tickets said anything. And they didn't, like I said, they didn't say anything. The only thing they said was shut off loud devices, like cell phones, iPhones, whatever, anything with a ring, or a beep, or anything with a ring, right? Well, they didn't say anything about cameras. They didn't say anything about recording video. They didn't say anything about for taking pictures, flash or no flash. But for some odd reason, people were taking them, right? And some people were using the flash. Well, I decided, okay, I'm just going to take one picture with the flash. So that's what I did. Unfortunately, for some odd reason, it gets the usher lady that's on this side coming over, if you will, to us, to me and my uncle, because my uncle was using his iPhone, if you will, I believe, his iPhone, and he was just, basically taking pictures as well, taking some video, and she comes up and says, no, you can't do that, makes a distraction, sorry. So I'm thinking, okay, whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, whatever. So I kind of keep it back in my pocket, right? And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to improvise. So what I do is I put said camera that I'm using right now, this camera, in my arm like this. And then I turn it on, like so. And then I kind of turn it on, like so. Oh. And then I feel for the recording button. I look out. I look like this. I look for the recording button. And I hit record, and I kind of keep my arms like this, in my lap. I keep my arms like that, in my lap, so they don't see the light or anything flashing through the sweater, which I don't think they would have seen anyway. But apparently, I wasn't the only one. There were several other people that were getting told the same thing. Yeah, honestly. They were getting told the same thing, and for what reason? Nobody said anything at the beginning. Nobody said anything on the ticket stubs. I mean, I can understand if it's someone like Willie Nelson when he came there a couple weeks ago. About a month or so ago. I can understand if it's him. I can understand if it's a group like Big Time Rush. I can understand if it's Aerosmith themselves who were part of that tribute concert tonight for the victims of Hurricane Sandy. I can understand if it's them. You know, I can understand if it's them. I can understand if it's, let's say, let's see what I got here. I can understand if it's someone like Beyonce in concert at the Grande. I can understand if it's someone like her. You know what I'm saying? I can understand if it's people like that. But if it's a tribute band, I really don't get it, unless they are a specialized tribute band. Like I remember they had the Rain tribute band to the Beatles come in. And they did say something about that on the tickets and before the show. So I understand that. I think we also saw another one for the Rolling Stones or something like that. I can't remember. And I can understand, you know, if they said something for like the highest... Okay, another one we went to. I don't know which one it was. Yeah, it was Las Positas. We went to Las Positas College to see their take on West Side Story. And I can understand that. And I did take some pictures on that too, and some video, but on the old camera, I did. But I can understand that. Heck, we went to go see, what was it? No, actually, we saw Godspell, the Las Positas production of Godspell we saw. We saw the actual Broadway play of West Side Story, so I can understand the actual Broadway play, and maybe even the Las Positas College portrayal of Godspell. I can understand that. And perhaps, even though I took some pictures of West Side, and I took some pictures and video of Godspell, of the Las Positas College rendition of Godspell, I can understand maybe that. But when I don't hear it being announced over the PA system, when I don't see it on a ticket, or even my aunt or my uncle telling me, and that tells me it was all cool. Because the Sun Kings, like I said, I've seen them before in person, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen them before in person, and the truth is, these guys are cool. I mean, I almost dropped my camera tonight. This very camera I'm using after my mom took a picture with Drew Harrison. That's his name, believe it or not. And as soon as I dropped it, it was almost at his feet. He was like, "Oh, nice catch." I was like, "Ooh, good catch." I mean, they're cool guys. They're just regular people doing what they love, paying tribute to the Beatles. So you're telling me that guys that really don't give a darn aren't about pictures or video being taken. Are you telling me that they can't tell the people at the Grande, hey, these people pay to come in and see us. They should have a right to take some video and footage, some video and pictures of us performing. Because they're here to have a good time and they want memories. They want memories. Does that sound bad to you? It doesn't sound bad to me. And so again, what I had to do, so again, you know, I wasn't the only one. Even while I was doing this at times, or just doing this and having my hands out like this, you know, and just letting my camera here record the sound. Even with that, you know, there were still people doing this, and sometimes people didn't get caught. My mom said there was somebody who looked like they had a Kindle-sized thing and they were recording. Now they had a young male usher on this side, and he basically came down and told some people, hey, you can't do this. He even told the people right in front of me, or right in front of me and my mom, my aunt and uncle, hey, you can't do this. And then he went down later on and told some other people, but I don't know what one guy said to him, but apparently after the usher tried to tell him, hey, you can't do this, You know, he walked away and they were still recording. I mean, heck, when they were doing the part for, when they were singing Let It Be, when they were performing Let It Be, usually instead of candles, people have this, right? Okay, let's say the lights off here for a second. When Let It Be is being shown, this is what they do. This is what they're allowed to do. They even did this the last time. You know, you put your cell phone or your iPhone up like that, right? That's what they were doing. I mean, that's what people are used to doing with songs like Let It Be. But because of the fact that these ushers, I don't know what got into them tonight, I don't know what was with the lady, were so like protective of, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. People really couldn't do it. I mean, they had to go like this. One guy had to resort in actually using a lighter like this, go, you know, with the Let It Be song. And then an usher lady, not the one that talked to us, but another usher lady, a little bigger than her, no offense, had to go up to him and say, sir, you can't do that. Now, I can understand the lighter thing, and so can everybody else, but still, when you have people being told that you can't record, you can't take pictures, flash or no flash, it's like, okay, it's like, what's the point of going to a tribute concert, especially one where no one is saying, we don't even hear the PA person saying, you can't do this, you can't do that. If they would have said that right off the bat, nobody would do it. Well, people would still do it, but they would sneak it. They would sneak around trying to do it. But still, you know, majority of the time, people really wouldn't do it. But we didn't hear anything. Nothing. So you tell me, what is that? You tell me, what is that? Doesn't sound right, huh? And I'm pretty sure, I'll tell you this. People are going to they're going to report to the Sun Kings. They're going to say, hey, you guys put on a great concert and everything to Grande, but we couldn't take pictures and video like we've done at your other performances because these ushers were like, hey, you can't do this. And I know someone like my mom would say, and would come out and say, hey, they didn't even tell us. They didn't even announce that no photography or video was allowed. They didn't say anything. And it's true. And I'm sure that the Sun Kings, or whoever the lady that represents them or helps them, I'm sure they'll respond by saying, hey, you know, that doesn't sound right. You know, if you pay to see us in concert and they're not saying, and basically, you know, they're not telling you shouldn't take pictures or video, basically saying that you're allowed to, but then saying you're not to, that doesn't sound right. You know, the Sun Kings, like I said, are the kind of guys that would be laid back and say, hey, you know, no problem, go ahead. No problem, go ahead kind of deal. But again, that's the whole thing about it. It's like, you know, if they didn't say anything over the PA system or the tickets didn't say anything, then what's the point? What's the fucking point, huh? I don't see a fucking point, do you? And I'm sure fans are going to email the Sun Kings and tell them that. And I'm sure they might even email the Grande and say, look, you guys didn't say anything about this. And I'm sure the Sun Kings might even do that if they get responses from fans. And they might say, hey, you didn't tell people they couldn't take pictures. You didn't announce that, hey, pictures and video are not allowed. You essentially, by not announcing, said they could, and yet you go back on that. Again, does that make sense? Overall, though, it was a good concert. Besides that little inconvenience, it was a good concert. So I highly recommend you guys anybody to go see them if you haven't, when they're in your area. Look them up, Sun Kings, on Google or here on YouTube. You'll really enjoy them. But that's all for my weekend, for my vlog for today, the 3rd of November. And comment and video response down below, and I'll talk to y'all later.